Hey everybody, how's it going? This is my 5-month update on my 5mm Cuban link from Jackson. Now this is a vermeil piece, which means that it's sterling silver in the base and then over it is solid gold. So this is not a solid gold piece, all right? So I wore this pretty heavy the first couple months that I owned it. I literally never took it off my neck. I would go swimming with it. I went to the beach in this. And I wore this on vacation. Every day we were going in the beach, we were going in the water. And honestly, the chain was perfectly fine. Even when I was showering, when I was sleeping, I just always left it on because I wanted to wear a chain that, I wouldn't really have to worry about too much. And at that time, I wasn't really as interested in solid gold. I just wanted to see what would fit my vibe the best. And I have to say, I have been pleased with how this Jackson piece is holding up. I think the quality of Jackson Cuban links are solid, especially if you're somebody that's trying to get into jewelry, but like me 5 months ago, you didn't really want to put down on a solid piece yet because it just didn't pique your interest enough. But yeah, this was definitely a sturdy chain. Like I said, when I wore it in the beach and those waves were crashing, I never worried about gripping onto my chain. I was never like, oh man, maybe I should take it off, do all that. I literally just let the water whip me around, and this was never a worry to me. So let me show you more of it kind of up close in case you kind of want to see it a little bit better. I'm not sure if it was focusing well enough from when I was out there, but yeah, I think that the color of it is still pretty nice. And if you can kind of see there, I hope you could see it. That's the 925 Italy stamping, and the 925 means that it's sterling silver. So 92.5% silver, and then the rest is filled with other alloys, and it is an Italian-made chain. And overall, like I said, it looks pretty good. Now, honestly, a big question that I get is if this chain has faded by or how long it'll take until it fades. And the rate that this is going, I really don't expect it to fade until maybe a couple years, but that's with heavy use. If I still was wearing this chain till this day and never really took it off, then maybe there'd be some slight changes, but I don't think that it'd be a completely washed gold color yet, because this has really, it's stood up really, really nicely. You know what I mean? In terms of if it kinks or not, occasionally it does. You could see the kink right there in case you don't know how to take it off. Sometimes with these pieces, you just have to grab each end and kind of pull it gently and boom, it comes apart. Now, let me try throwing this on right now just so you guys can kind of see what it looks like. And if you're a fan of a hang straight test, I don't know how helpful this is going to be because it has a slight curvature to it. But the important thing to note is that it's not just coiling and twisting at the bottom. You see a little bit of a twist here, but honestly, not that bad, not that bad. Now, of course, with Cuban links, it'd be cool if this thing had a box lock, but I mean, maybe in the future with a solid piece, that's something I would want to look into. But Cuban links were definitely the chain that sparked, well, rope chains were, but once I got my first kind of Cuban vermeil piece, I felt totally different. And this is what made me want to get into solid jewelry. So I can't see what this looks like on my neck right now because this is my back camera, but hopefully you can kind of get a good picture of it. This is, again, 20 inches, 5mm. If you want to throw a pendant on it, you totally can. But overall, I'm trying to think if there's anything I dislike about this chain or if there was any problems with it. And honestly, there hasn't been. I think if I could critique it, well, it's not even much of a critique, but if you're somebody that is worried about the chain kind of rolling and folding on your neck like that, that is going to happen just because the weight isn't really there. I noticed with my 7mm Cuban link from Jackson, that one barely rolled. It was always it stayed with me no matter what I was doing. It would just fall flat on my chest, and I never had to worry about it kind of twisting on my neck or anything like that. But yeah, I received a ton of compliments on this chain when I did wear it. In fact, when I first kind of started wearing this every day and people noticed it, people that I know were like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get into chains too, blah, blah, blah. I like the look of that. So some people have also gotten into jewelry and have been inspired by this link. Now, just kind of a quick thing to note is I have done a comparison video on GLD versus Jackson. They're not the same exact chains. With the GLD chain, it was the Franco and the Figaro. And with the Jackson pieces, they were Cuban links, right? But in terms of quality, I much rather prefer Jackson, or that's what the direction I'd advise you to go in terms of, you know what I mean? Hold on. Because I haven't tried the GLD rope chains, right? But when I wore the GLD Figaro, and I know that it's a flat link, right? But I threw it on and I showered with it on and it came off of my neck. So just be careful with the clasp on that thing. And then when I did try to just hold it up, it was constantly kind of twisting on me, you know? So that was kind of unfortunate. But I do have some subscribers that have gotten rope chains from GLD and they like the way that those are better than the rope chains from Jackson. So I can't speak on the rope chains from either of those brands, but I will say that the Cuban link from Jackson is definitely a sturdy piece and you will kind of feel the weight to it. And I mean, the cool thing is, even though this is vermeil, like once the gold fades with this chain, you are still left with an authentic sterling silver chain. So if you want to if it fades completely and you want to get it polished, it's going to look really nice, you know? So no complaints there. But yes, I have not worn any of my vermeil pieces ever since I got into solid gold jewelry. So the one that I'm wearing around my neck, it is a thinner chain, but I feel like my appreciation for, you know, solid pieces and higher purity has kind of been kicking in lately. So that's kind of been where my interest has peaked, but no regrets with this Jackson piece whatsoever. So I will continue to do review videos for you all. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.